Okay, I think it's recording.
Yes.
That we have to say that each time, but it's not really. It doesn't say start recording. Hi.
Good morning, everyone.
Feels a little bit like some pressure to do this for some reason. I don't know why. Because we had this idea, and now I feel a little pressure to. I don't know what.
I have no idea what the pressure is all about. She said pressure, I know what it is. Pressure of being on screen, the pressure of doing this, pressure of what? I have no idea.
Know, just kind of
but
pursuing our idea of having coffee time with Walid and Karen. It feels like, there's a little, we did number one and that was good. Now number two is like, they have to be exactly the same. Do we adjust? I don't know, just gonna be myself. So
you know what? I don't think we should adjust. I think we should be as normal as possible. Yeah. That's who we are. That's what we're presenting, who we are. So
we're coming from a different location as well this time.
That's right.
That's why the background's a little different.
Exactly. That's why I look a little tired because I didn't get enough sleep and, just...
And he may start sweating.
But really exciting to be up on screen and, talk to whoever is listening to us and just telling you about our day.
And this place that we're at it has the air conditioning. I don't know what they call it. It doesn't have central air, so you have to turn the air conditioning on.
It's a window unit, yeah.
Window unit, and it's very loud. And I was going to say we were worried, but I was worried. I don't know about him, but I was worried the sound would be very distracting. So we turned it off. So it was 77 when we started, and I think it's going to get hot really quickly. I tried to open
and I tell
window.
you what, her presence is not even helping either. Being very hot.
So we opened the window. More hot air is coming in. But anyway.
So anyways, our day started very early this morning. Me and my daughter, we just biked, we're down the shore. And, we're just was telling Karen how beautiful it is, like being out in the morning when the sun, first, rising. And people are doing their exercises, walking, biking. And you think that, that early in the day that you won't see anybody on the street, but it's the opposite. Everybody is out at this time because the sun is not strong. How beautiful that is. It's so soothing, good for the soul, good for the body, good for the mind. And, me and Emma, my daughter, we biked and we just biked far, about probably 30, 40 blocks, and came back and we felt so good about it. Yeah, it was so great. This is the first part of our day. And
it makes a difference where you are.
If
you're feeling really stressed out, I feel like I'm sensitive to the energy in a place, and I feel like there's really differences depending on where you are these days, because as we all know, obviously it's very tense, and that's kind of what this is about a little bit for us. But if you're feeling that where you live, where you are, whatever it is, I think it's really helpful to try and explore different areas and try and give yourself a break from that intensity of, there's a lot of fear, which I'm not saying, that fear is fear, but there's a lot of, when we're consumed with fear, that's when it starts to feel like it weighs down on us. So I find it really refreshing to places like here where, it
is very, striking in a way. It's not striking. It just brings you down to reality of your moment of what you're going through. In other words, we just went out and we had breakfast, and the servers have to wear a mask. They can't serve us indoors. They have to serve us outdoors. And here down the shore, when the sun, at the midst of it, it gets very hot. So they were the servers are wearing masks and they're serving us. And we are sitting at a table and, we ordered food and everything.
Okay.
Sorry about the interruption. It's just my son came in and he asked for something, a device that he lost and he couldn't find it. So he asked us if we know what it is. Anyway, so we went to that breakfast place and we're sitting down at a table and the server is wearing a mask. Now, my whole reason of the story is, when you sit at a table and you are served, you feel so bad asking for extra stuff, like, stuff like, they're outdoors, they're not prepared, and there's no salt, no pepper, no glasses, no silver. They have to set up everything for you. And then if you get your food, you want salt and pepper, you ask for it. But then if you want refill on your water, you feel so bad, because you don't want to, like, put extra pressure on that waitress or waiter wearing a mask in the sun, going back and forth just to serve you, and they have other tables to serve as well. And that's the way to make the money. Now it's the new norm, what's going on. So that's why we're
No
talking.
anymore.
That's
I'm not accepting this
we're talking
anymore.
about a mask thing, like, how hard it is. It's a very, very sensitive issue. Like, we always talk about, and we like to bring it up and share it with you, because I don't think that, if you are in an area where there's nobody around you and it's like, sunny and hot, why would you walk on the street with a mask on your face? I mean, what you're preventing, and who you are, like, trying to do, or
some that's your view, and everyone's
yeah,
entitled to their own views.
oh, absolutely. I'm just saying why, like,
So
I'm
there
sharing
could be
it with
lots
the
of
people.
reasons why people do that, and everybody has. I mean, we're just sharing our opinions, so this is. But I think that a lot of people. There are many reasons why people can be doing that. First of all, we don't know what they do for a living, and if they are working in areas, maybe they're treating COVID patients, they feel it's necessary if they're out to wear a mask, and or if they feel
But they're not treating anybody on the street by themselves, walking down the street. I mean,
if
they're just walking down the street with wearing a mask. This is my thing. Is like, wearing a mask could be good when you're, working with COVID-19 patients and stuff, like, or a surgeon or a doctor or a nurse in a hospital, they wear that. That's great. But, if there's nobody around you and you're wearing a mask, is it because, like, they ask you to do it? Or because, like, internally you want to do
you're
it?
going right in.
I'm just like, I'm just wondering. It's like, it's a big debate.
For a little bit, but
it's a big debate. You can talk about it, I mean, for hours, and, like, you won't find, I won't say a solution or anything, because everybody has his own mental about it, and everybody has his own reason about it, why you should wear it or why you should not wear it.
Yes.
And there's no place for judgment here. We're not judging. We're just talking about it, just to, like, make, things, like, out in the clear, and, people know our perspective, where we're coming from and what we're saying. So I mean, I could be wrong, but this is my, like, that's what I think is, like, good to do, by breathing fresh air. If you are out in a remote area, nobody's around you.
Definitely. Well, that is a huge, huge subject, and that's I learned from making a Facebook. Well, I didn't learn, and sometimes you just have to put it out there. Sometimes, if there's something here, I would go to sirens. I don't know if you can hear it, but if you not noon, right? If you put it's really, well, they do that at noon.
She's like skipping.
Sorry, that's the way my brain works. That's the way my brain works. Made me think of the time, because I know you have to get going. But sometimes you have to put a topic out there if it's really important. If you see what I feel like I'm seeing, a climate where one point of view, for whatever reason, seems like it's acceptable, and it feels like anything that goes out of that narrow, I don't know if spectrum is the word, narrow road of a thought process gets attacked. And if you feel strongly in your view, which is outside of that narrow road, it can be hard to bring that up. So these, because you see other people getting attacked for writing anything similar. And the way I see it is, that's the point of attacking. They're attacking so to keep that person silent. And I think healthy discussion is really important. So anytime anyone feels silenced or people start putting them down, so two things happened this week since we last were on here. Obviously a lot more than two things, but some issues that came up, at least where we live. A lot of the schools started to put out their plan for the fall and what it's going to look like. And that was kind of a big thing for me, at least, but a lot of people. Secondly, censoring has really taken off again this week. So censoring brings up this issue of we have a right to express our views. And it's not okay if you want to discuss the point being made respectfully, great. But that's not what I'm seeing. What I'm seeing is people start attacking the person. That's always what they do. They attack the person. It makes everyone else not hesitate before they're going to say anything. And then many times it means they're going to lose their career. I mean, that's a huge thing. That's huge for somebody. It takes a lot of courage for someone to speak out. So that should be taken into consideration. The fact that someone's even saying it, knowing they're going to lose their career. But that's not okay. So things have been censored. And in addition to being censored, they're being, I feel like they're being judged by a lot of things that are not what they are saying. It's them as a person, that person as an individual. So those two things are kind of happening this week. I think things a little tense for me. And for me, I feel like it's very easy to get caught up and get yourself worked up because these are very important issues and people feel really strongly, and there's so many layers to each issue. And again, you're worried you're going to be taken in the wrong way because quickly they get off track and then they start going into another topic, and then you get associated with this other topic, which, so it's very sensitive to bring any of this up, obviously. But for me, when I feel myself getting caught up in all the negativity and all the tension, I try and remember to take some time to just release and let it go. And as moms, we all know that, probably everybody, but moms, women, I think it's women actually, not just moms, but I hear it sometimes in relation to being a mother, but fill up your cup first. But I almost feel like it's an emptying, like empty the negativity and all the stuff that gets layered on with all this anger and just harsh energy that's out there. So for me, I feel like I need to just kind of let it go.
Yeah, this is a good thing. This is a good thing when you brush it off, like the anger and the stress and it's all brought because people are confined to their homes, with their kids and working from home. Before, like, they used to vent out, like they used to go to work, come back, take a ride in the car, the kids in school. The stress is still there, but it's lesser. But now everything combined, with that COVID-19 thing and lack of work and the kids off from school and the stress of they are going back or not, and the work is going to be, but when they're going to lay me off, am I going to stay employed or not? I mean, so many thoughts. That's why, these things all combined, they bring stress in you, and stress bring anger, and anger bring fights with spouses, with kids, the abuse, everything is it's getting to a higher level than it was before the COVID-19. That's why we're saying sometimes, what that COVID-19 causing, the stress and the stuff for people being at home is harder than being affected by the COVID-19 outside. People are getting more affected indoors than being affected outdoors. That's why we're saying is there a way? I mean, is it that bad, that COVID-19 thing, that somebody would be infected by it? Who knows? Maybe I did, but I didn't feel it. Some people are you don't feel the symptoms, and I don't know. There's not enough data about it. I mean, I can't say yes or no or good or bad. But what I'm saying is, what I can see, very clearly, is people are getting more affected by it being indoors. From being the stress and everything is like piling up at home and stuff. And I'm not saying that, I'm thinking personally, like it's happening to me. I used to work like, 5, 6 days a week at night. And like, I'm loving it now. Like, I'm at home with my family, I'm spending more time. But what I'm saying, like, is what I see around me, the people around me, and like, how they are, how they're behaving, how what's, so that's why, things are, we should look at it from different perspective. I think you should look at it internally, from within out. You see, there's no judgment here again. You look at yourself and you see what you want to do. I can't tell you wear a mask, but you can tell me don't wear a mask. I know what's like, I am very cautious guy. I respect others. I know, like, if it requires me to wear a mask when I go indoors somewhere, and I do that, pleasantly. But if you see me outside walking on the street, don't give me a look like, like I'm a bad guy because I'm not wearing a mask. A mask, like, suffocates me. In a weather like this, I can't breathe. So I need to take the mask off and walk. I'm not affecting anybody. I'm not judging anybody. Like, why is he wearing a mask? And I'm like, in this weather, it's up to him, So that's why, like, it's good to share this with you, bring that to, like, your attention, and see. Now, after this video, I'm sure we're going to get comments and people say, like, they are with us or not with us. Like, the views are so important. Like, that's why we like to do these podcasts, because we like to get comments and, like, from people, to people we know or we don't know, just to, have an idea about, like, how people think, how people, like, react to these things, how they're coping with it, and it's always a good thing. Plus, like, it gives me a pleasure to be with next to my wife for like another, like, half an hour, 45 minutes.
I'm laughing because I didn't know what we were talking about today. So
there's no specific subject we talk about. This is the beauty of this, is you talk about whatever you have on mind. I think, I don't have an agenda of like, oh, today we're talking about the weather. No, we'll talk about whatever comes to our mind and share it with people. That what makes it more natural, I think. So salute.
Back to coffee.
I know, actually, that's a coffee talk in the morning.
Second cup of coffee today.
I know.
I thought it would be fun to do it when it's our first cup, but it was not working. The one day we wanted to do it, he went out and already got coffee. I was like, "You got coffee?" He didn't get me coffee.
I know. She always said, I asked if she wants. She said no.
That day, something happened. There was rarely do you get coffee without. But there was something.
Oh,
but anyway, something keeps happening like that since it's coffee.
Maybe that they said they had no decaf. I told they had no decaf.
There was something weird that happened.
She drinks decaf, like, decaffeinated coffee. So
I'm
some places don't have decaf, or they're out of decaf and they don't brew more because, there isn't a big demand on it, especially in the morning. So
no, they only do it in the morning sometimes. I don't know when that started.
Well, decaf usually
Starbucks
at night people drink it because they be like, affected by sleep and stuff.
After 11 a.m.
That's very weird. I know.
Some don't even carry decaf anymore. I don't know. Starbucks started it. They're not my biggest.
So
they're not. I'm not the biggest fan of them anyway. But
anyways, I have a long ride back to Philadelphia, so I don't know what else we. I know what Karen has on her mind. If she has anything else to share, or we can conclude this probably by a thanks. And
it wasn't too late today.
Looking forward to see you again soon. Yeah. Try to do it weekly if we can. So as much as we can with cup of coffee, of course. We call it Coffee Talk. Just like a place in Stone Harbor here, they have like, breakfast and stuff. It's called Coffee Talk. It's very, very, nice place. Is very cozy. That's when it was open indoors, but now they're not. So we got that, a title from them, Coffee Talk in the morning.
You did.
I did, yeah. I just created that.
Okay. I thought it was Coffee with Walid and Karen. Okay.
Coffee with Walid and Karen, that's right.
All right. So bye, everybody. We'll see you soon.